In this video, I'm going to share you the exam routine that got me 3 A stars and 1 A in my A-level exams. I took computer science, math, further math, and business, and I got these results. And keep in mind, these are pretty hard subjects. They're not easy. They're considered one of the more difficult subjects in A-levels. But it was during the exam season when I started to lock in. So you've probably done your mocks already, you've gotten your results, and you want to be able to improve. But let me tell you, this is the time to lock in. Your mocks results do not matter. What matters is the time that you spend now till the exam. I know your exams are probably in June or May, but right now, you need to think right now is the exam season. You need to have that mindset of urgency. Otherwise, you're just going to procrastinate. All right, enough talking, enough yapping. I'm gonna get into it. First thing, waking up. I like to wake up really early in the morning. Not super early, like 5 a.m., but I really like waking up at around 6:30 or 7 or 7:30. And there's a really good reason why I do this. If I wake up early, I can jump straight into work. There's that period of time before school that I can just wake up and work. That I can just wake up, maybe, grind out like 50 flashcards and then go to school. Because right after you wake up, chances are you're the most alert. You're the most focused. And trust me, focus is super, super important. So during weekends, I like to wake up, do my morning routine, and then jump straight into doing past papers. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, what's my morning routine? It's very, very simple. I wake up, go to my balcony, and I just stare at the sun. Not like at the sun, but stare in the direction of the sun. And then I would have a glass of water. Simple. But you need that glass of water because science studies, there are so many studies out there that show that if you're dehydrated, your brain actually functions a lot worse. So if it's a weekday, I would just go straight to school. Maybe I could grind a little bit of, flashcards before school. But when I get to school, I am going to use this school time very, very wisely. School. Why did I put school here? School is very, very, very important. If you can put all of your study sessions during school time, you don't even need to study at home, if I'm being completely honest. You don't even need to go back home and then study. You just don't. And chances are, when you're in school, you're probably much more focused than when you're, at home. Because home is where I relax, and it's probably where you relax. Like at home, I like to, watch anime, read books, do all those fun activities. School is for work. Home is for relaxation. And so what I did during my free periods, I don't know if you have free periods, but if you do, please use them. I used my free periods to study. I did not goof around like some of the other people did because I knew that if I wanted to be efficient, I needed to use my school time wisely. Next thing, focus. Focus is super, super important. If there's one thing that either makes or breaks your study session, it would be your level of focus. Chances are, if you're not focused, you cannot lock in. The amount of information that you remember from studying is directly correlated to how much focus you actually have. A focused fool can accomplish way more than a distracted genius. Focus is key, so you need to be able to optimize your focus. And the first thing that you can do is to study using active recall. And this is by far the best active recall. It's very simple. Past papers. Matthew, but isn't that obvious? I mean, yes, of course it's obvious, but past papers is hard. And that's why not many people do them. It's obvious that past papers is the best study method out there. No question about it. Because what they tested you last year will literally be the same as what they tested you this year, and the next year, and the next year, and the next year. It's going to be the same. They usually do not change what's in the syllabus. Do more past papers, you'll be Bing chilling. So, when you do past papers, you might come across some questions that you might just not be able to do, right? You do them and you mock them and you're like, oh crap, why did I get this answer? I actually don't really know. Here's what I did. So, I kind of took a screenshot of the PDF file, that question number 9. I took a screenshot of it. And then I put it into a separate Google document. And I just did that for every single, exam question that I just couldn't really understand or that I couldn't really do. This method is called an error booklet, and it's really, really effective at targeting your weaknesses. You don't want to just go through a past paper and, mark the answers that you got wrong and just leave them. You want to use those past papers as efficiently as possible, right? Third thing, 80-20 rule and 50-10 rule. I'm going to go over the 50-10 rule first because I think it's more important. So when you're studying, you don't want to study for 3 hours straight. That is just going to kill your focus. And remember what I said about focus. Focus is super, super important. You want to be able to optimize your focus as much as possible. So by studying less, you're actually improving your study sessions because you're way more focused. So 50 minutes, 10 minutes break. That's what I use. Super, super effective. Or you could even use the Pomodoro timer, which works perfectly as well. It just, depends on your personal preference. You need to be able to optimize your focus. And the best way to do that is by scheduling in shorter study sessions. All right, next thing, 80-20 rule. 80% of the results comes from 20% of the things that you do. I think rewriting notes and reading your textbook is a complete waste of time because you're not actually, testing yourself. Studying is not meant to be easy. If it's easy, your brain actually shuts down and becomes fatigued because you look through the textbook and you're like, and the only time that you actually want to be reading your textbook and watching YouTube videos is when you're testing yourself and you don't understand the concept or you're just stuck on a problem. That's when you want to whip out your textbook because you'll be filtering the information that is unnecessary and you're actually going to be looking for the thing that you need. Oh yeah, if you're an IGCSE or a GCSE or an A-level student and it's mocks exam season right now, then I've actually got something for you. Just check the first 2 links in the description or the pinned comment. So with that all being said, I'm gonna go over the next part of the exam routine. And this is arguably more important than this. Because if you can do this, this becomes easy. So I'm gonna explain this step by step. So first thing, exercise. Go to the gym. It's really, really, really good for you. I personally go to the gym maybe 3 times a week. And even during exam season, I would go maybe 2 times a week. I literally remember one morning, I woke up and I went straight to the gym, got a nasty bicep pump, and then I went to school and took my maths exam. Strange, right? But you might be thinking, wait, Matthew, isn't that just a waste of time? Shouldn't you be studying instead? Well, here's the thing. I started studying in March, right now. So I actually had a lot of time to do the things that actually will improve my health. And because I improved my health, I was able to get into the right mental state on the exam. I was able to stay focused and attentive. And that allowed me to get much higher marks than some of my classmates. Look, exercise is not a waste of time. And trust me when I say this. When you're studying all day, you just become so tired. You need a break. And so going to the gym and doing exercise is literally the best way to take a mental and physical break. All right, second thing, diet. Diet is actually really, really important because if you have a crappy diet, you cannot focus. And when you cannot focus, you cannot study well. So you need to have a good diet, especially during exam season. I'm gonna make it very simple for you. If it's processed, you probably shouldn't be eating it. If it's processed, throw it away. It does not belong in your diet. This includes things like ice cream, fried foods, and processed sugar. Anything that's processed, anything that's not natural, anything that doesn't come from God. And trust me, you do not want your health to be compromised, especially during exam season. The third thing is your phone. I mean, honestly, it's kind of inevitable. Sometimes you scroll, I scroll. It's not something that I can just completely avoid. But here's one thing that I want to give to you, an actionable step that I want to show you right now. During exam season, I deleted Instagram. And actually right now, on my phone right now, I don't have those apps installed because I know those apps will drain my focus, my energy, and my attention. That's the easiest thing that you can do. The next thing you could do is also, set your phone screen to grayscale. When you set your phone screen to grayscale, scientifically it helps you reduce your screen time by 30%. When I was younger, I was always think that, I just didn't have time to study. And the reason why was because I was spending all of it on my phone. I was literally scrolling through Instagram and I was playing video games with my friends until 10 p.m. at night. So it's not that I didn't have enough time. It's just that I was using that time unproductively. The next thing, the last thing, the most important thing is sleep. Sleep is kind of like the save button. Imagine you study during the day, right? Think of that as typing into a Word document, like writing an essay in your Word document. Sleep is like the save button. If you don't sleep good, if you don't sleep well, guess what? The information that you typed into that Word document, the information that you encoded into your brain becomes lost. It's kind of a waste, isn't it? If you studied 8 hours a day, but you only remember like 40% of it because you only got like 4 hours of sleep. You need to have good sleep. And it's possible because when I was in my exam season, I was sleeping 8 hours a day. And in fact, my sleep schedule was actually way better than when it wasn't exam season, when it was exam off season. Because I was locked in this exam routine and I didn't have any distractions that would, keep me awake at night. I was able to actually sleep maybe around 8 hours and 9 hours a day. It was amazing. So anyways, this is the whole exam routine. To summarize, everything is to optimize your focus. And once you do all of these, I promise you 100%, those A stars are just waiting at your door. As always, may God guide us on the right path, and I'll see you in the next video.